Hello, it's Annabelle
and Lilith.
This is our sister tag. You know, for all the years I've been around, I think there's been a lot of mystery or curiosity around our relationship as sisters, and now that we're doing Pyperbleu together, this is very appropriate.
Probably gonna get off topic more than once, but without further ado, let's just get into it. Who is the oldest, youngest sister?
Duh. I mean,
a lot of people think you're the older one still. I would say more than half.
Yeah, but I really don't think that matters. I know we're doing this tag and talking about it, so that's fine, obviously. Like, we asked for it. I walked into this because for our relationship specifically, it does not identify too much.
When I was younger, like in grade school, I really wished that my sister was my twin because it really felt like we were so in sync. We used to wear the same outfits every day. So if I had to answer more accurately, I would feel like she's my twin, even though she's not. What do you like and hate about your sister? You wanna go first?
No, you can go first. I went first last time.
Should we do the likes and then the hates? I love how organized and mature she is. She really helps me keep my cool, especially in difficult situations. She doesn't worsen things by saying, oh, I told you so, or like trying to put me down when I make mistakes. Another thing I really like about her is her amazing memory. Because it has saved my butt countless times.
One thing I really like about Lilith is her ability to be very empathetic. Even though I'm responsible in different ways, or sometimes like more strict or just more uptight than my sister in a lot of things, and she makes more mistakes or something, just like how she feels like there's no blame from me to her, I feel like that I could open up to her about the most insignificant vulnerabilities, and because she's so empathetic and helpful, like she validates and like treats all of my worries as they are, I can be completely truly myself, and knowing that you can be fully accepted unconditionally, I think is extremely rare to come by, and not something you can say for many people.
I feel like hate is such a strong word. So like, what annoys you about me? Yes.
You tend to always be like so lazy for certain tiny things. No matter how many times I freaking remind you, can you just close the lid on the shampoo or the toothpaste, or just replace the toilet paper? Like,
I do that sometimes.
Yeah, but
like
how long? It's been like 12 years. And you finally do that.
It's not like I never do it.
No, but you never close the shampoo cap.
That's
and then
true.
There's gook everywhere and it's disgusting, there's residue, and then you never like to clean out the trap for all the hair. You never do the lint trap, you never do those tiny little things that's so easy, and you always leave it for me.
Okay, I got one. I think one thing that would really annoy me about you in specific moments is like, if I'm really excited about an idea or like something that I want to do in the day, and I'll tell her, and then she'll be like, why would you want to do that? And she'll just kind of rain on my parade, even though if I give her a chance to explain, she'll like lay things out logically to the point where I will end up agreeing with her, which is also really annoying. Have you considered like these problems that would happen if you do things this way? And there's like that instant of like, ooh, like cold showering. Yeah.
Normal people have that, except they call it a conscience. But I just live outside of you, and I'm there to remind you, oh, hold on, danger, danger.
Yeah.
If I'm your conscience, then what are you to me?
Yeah.
You're like the devil here that's like, do it.
I can see that.
Next question, what do you and your sister have in common? Well, obviously the biggest thing we have in common is our background in art, our creativity, and also our studies in art.
I think we're both very interested in being surrounded by well-designed things, and that kind of leads us to being more picky about what we have in our lives.
Or at least if she has a different... Kira! Hey!
Hello!
Welcome! We take aesthetic pleasures in similar ways.
What is your funniest memory?
That's too...
Funniest?
So broad.
I know. See, I feel like I should have written the tag myself. I could have made it so much better if I wrote it.
Maybe a sister tag 2, volume 2 will come out.
Volume 2.
Well, I have this really random memory from in elementary school that you're not gonna remember at all, but it cracked me up so hard. when this happened.
Okay.
Because we went to, I think it was like 世界之窗, something like that.
Yeah.
Like
世界之窗.
世界之窗. I think it was with your friend and their mom, or our friend. There was one adult present, and the 4 of us went on this river rafting ride. Do you remember that at all? No, you don't. So it's just like those typical ones where everyone sits in a circle and like bounces around down the water. But then like I guess the catch was that there's a lot of,
I think I remember this.
There's a lot of like water squirting from certain walls and stuff, but we all had those ugly plastic like garbage bag ponchos on anyway, so whatever. So it's like everyone wore those. And then we went to a part in the hallway where one wall clearly had very strong streams come out, but it was like timed, so I'm not sure when.
Yeah. And
then our wheel was turning, and then you're just like 샤싱! And then the water literally sprayed straight on you for like 5 seconds, but you're like 샤싱! And you're like the only one being like hella sprayed.
Yeah.
And it made me so, yeah, hysterical.
It's like hard for me to think about it on the spot though. Like my memory is really bad. I can barely remember what happened yesterday.
I know, but like, the most funny memory should be able to come up.
Can we get back to it when I remember?
Yeah, I just cut it in.
Okay.
What do you and your sister do for fun? We like to sit on the bed and film.
We like to eat out, like go to a cute restaurant or a cafe, preferably not too loud. So
Kira, stop twerking in the hallway. Going to concert, last row. Good food, you know. Shopping back then, but now it's thrifting.
Yeah.
And watching films, festivals.
We went candle making once. That was pretty fun. And like biking along the boardwalk.
Traveling, things that entail traveling. Yeah. Now that I drink coffee cafes, before it was much harder for me. We basically don't do really. One time she came rock climbing with me, but that was very, very difficult for her. So
I cried.
That's not something that's something we do for fun. I guess we do escape rooms with all our friends.
And then we go skiing.
But what's unique to just us? I guess talking about art and other things.
We like to talk about our future projects for fun. That can go on for hours.
That's true.
It can go on for days.
That's true.
Yeah.
One day, we're gonna be old with very long hair. And then we're gonna braid our hair into one braid.
It sounded really creepy the way you said it. Describe your sister in one word.
No.
I'm torn between 2 words. Meticulous. And then the second one is perfectionist. A lot of your anxieties and frustrations come from this aspect of, you know, like setting really high expectations for yourself.
You know what just randomly came into my mind?
Oh. Oh my god, they match her outfits. I don't wait, you talk while I work on this.
I feel like one of the words that came into my mind was floating, because elusive is the wrong word, but floating, kind of, you don't tend to be tied down, which means that you're more open to new things, or you can't commit to certain things. You're just like
fear
floating.
of commitment. It's my Gemini Venus.
There. So sit. Mushroom cat.
Your Virgo's coming out.
Have you ever liked one of her friends? Does this mean crush? You didn't really have guy friends, you know? You just date all the guys in your life. Right?
I'm not including this in the video.
I don't really think so. No, not really.
Yeah, same here. I don't ever think we had that.
Yeah, sorry. It's not, there's no interesting elaboration.
Yeah.
No. Next question.
Next.
What's your nickname people call?
People? Who wrote this down? Well, you have a couple. By people, I just mean my family. You know,
oh man, I have a lot though.
Yeah.
I feel like Mia is like a one that never ever came up, ever. Most people don't know
because
this.
It's Mia, because when she was little.
I know.
Yeah, she would smile really big, so it was like me and then yeah.
There's obviously Annabelle, and sometimes there's Piper.
And there's Annie.
There's Xiao Xiao too. That's like my Chinese nickname. And then there's Mia in my family as well.
I don't really think I have nicknames. I don't know if you want to put the nickname that
well,
you
there's
call me
Dot
on.
Dot, Dian
Dian.
Dian.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then there's another one that's personally reserved as private. Because it's really just...
You make it sound so suspicious.
Because she doesn't really like it, so I'm trying not to call her by as much.
And
but I've been calling you
only
this
she calls me that.
for probably 10 years, So it's more instinctive, but it's a mode I switch to when I'm very casually saying your name. If I just say your name, it sounds like I'm a lot more serious, you know? Which is why I need kind of silly words sometimes, because I have sort of a serious voice.
Who keeps a cleaner room?
I feel like on the outside, 表面看, it's you, because you go to the drawer, you lift up a rug. It's like all of this scary stuff. You don't know from when, you don't know how old. It's like, what is that?
It wasn't like that when I was living here.
It's like, what is inside? You don't know, because she just goes, but everything is clean and pristine. But for me, I am very chaotic because everything is meticulously organized within.
I feel like I was pretty organized when I was living here, like my last year.
Because you went on one of those organizing hobby binges. It's very different than like your natural instinct.
Well, like I feel like naturally I am pretty messy, but I am working on it.
Well, yeah.
I don't like that about myself, so I want to change it.
In regards to the question, who has a cleaner room, I have a much more cluttered room. It takes me maybe like 4 hours on the weekend to come through and redo my whole unit and be like, okay, this is the new system now. Which is very different than saying, oh, here's like some air on top of this, let me just shove all this in here because that will give me a clean table.
But then like I don't feel right if I can see everything. So I rather like it's still categorized.
But that's how you lose stuff. My mom can't stand the fact that I like to just keep everything outside until I have the time to properly put them away.
What does your sister think about the most?
That's really weird. How am I supposed to know? I'm not in your brain.
I feel like you think about work the most, like planning out projects, like whether it be YouTube or your career, or like thinking about how you can balance your career with your family, with your relationship, right? I feel like it's hard for me.
It's different for you because you're extremely floaty, you know? You go through phases, you have episodes, chapters, whatever.
Do.
So right now you're like extremely worried about just making it out on the world by yourself. But then like normally, let's just say that in a controlled situation, probably just like wander in your mind like to the weirdest, most random things possible. You see something, like a speck in a corner, and then you distantly suddenly flow out of your body and imagine yourself in some parallel universe and living in that lifeline, and then you come back.
That's pretty accurate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who reads more? Me. Just kidding. I've only read like 20 books my whole life.
That's not true. I feel like you've read more than 20. It's
Okay.
just,
just speed this part up.
I can't believe you can remember every single book you've read.
Because I've read very few books, dude.
I used to be a huge bookworm. It's less so now, but I used to like not sleep and not eat because I was always reading.
But I had this theory that I sort of had a resentment against books because they always like stole you. I don't like reading because like reading like takes people away. But still, I read like barely 30 books in my life. But I've recently become very interested in reading. I'll talk more about that later. But I like to read fantasy. Or, sorry, like fiction. And you read non-fiction?
Yes, for the most part. It's because I read way too much fiction growing up, and then I just got sick of it because I was like, it was like overload. Who is the most talented? Like seriously, who wrote these?
Are you trying to like get a cat fight on camera? That's a stupid
Cat
question.
fight. How about let's change it to what is your sister talented at?
Strong points?
Yeah, like skills.
Okay. You're definitely very like book intelligent and really good at delving yourself into certain specific studies, whether it's astronomy or astrology or philosophy, and retaining that information and applying it to real world events or like discussions. Very Ravenclaw.
One of your strong points is that you're really good at multitasking. The way that you find the time to fit everything in is already astounding, but I know that it's because you work really hard. Another one of your strong points is that you have a very good work ethic, even though that does lead to you like
isn't it because I like a perfectionist?
Pushing yourself too far or like burning out.
I never really noticed that until like when you were asking me about like the video editing things, or like, can I just do the subtitles a different day?
Yeah.
I was like, why? Why can't you just do it now? But I feel like my skill in multitasking is a reflection of how it's extremely difficult for me to focus on one thing.
I feel like we lack focus in different aspects.
Yeah. Hello, prairie girl. Hello.
She's being so cute right now.
She wants food. What is your favorite makeup beauty product or brand? My favorite beauty product is probably very colorful eyeshadow. I've always loved eyeshadow and how it's almost like another accessory, but I also like lipstick, just anything colorful.
My favorite beauty product is probably a face mask, because it's the one thing where I notice a very drastic difference before and after I use it.
You take pleasure.
Yes.
What is your sister really bad at? You're really bad at remembering things.
What are you really bad at?
I think you're really bad at a lot of physically coordinated tasks.
Yeah. I foot coordinate like soccer. I probably like badminton too. You're bad at keeping up to date with like trending
Pop
topics.
culture.
Yeah, or like in media and sports and politics.
Really bad.
Yeah. And that kind of gets in the way when you want to make new friends or when you meet a new group of people. You find it hard to talk to them.
Me.
Oh, you're bad at small talk.
Oh, I'm so bad at small talk.
Yeah.
Oh god. Small talk is a dread. No one I know though enjoys small talk.
But then it's like, it's very easy to go from small talk to like big talk. My favorite icebreaker is I ask them what their sign is and they tell me, and then I just like give them like a little blurb and then they get all excited and then I get excited and then we're friends. Who takes longer to get ready?
You.
I take longer too.
Next.
I admit.
She's a lot more nitpicky about tiny things. Like, I don't like how this hair has this affection. And like, it's just like not good for my silhouette.
I care a lot about my silhouette. And then she's always picking on me for it. Heels or flats?
Heels.
For the other person?
Heels.
Oh.
I like the click-clack. And it also gives me height.
Like low heels?
It doesn't matter. It's just heels and flats.
Probably flats.
I think it's been like 5 years since I've actually worn flats.
Because like the pair I wear the most, the Alexanders, are flat. So I feel like it's flat.
Last thing you talked about, so aside from what we're gonna do to film, during dinner we were talking about...
Oh, we talked about me moving to Providence.
The reason why she's here this week is because most of her things from her time here at school, over the summer they've just been here scattered about in my room and now Kira's room. So she was coming here with the intention to pack it all up and send it to storage because next year she hopefully will move to the East Coast. And I guess a lot of events strung together and falling into place, she is going to move in sort of out of town but close to here. She met up with her friend and the friend knows of a place that she can sublet, and now a lot of things are making sense, so now she's gonna actually stay over here on the East Coast.
Yeah.
That's what we were talking about. So instead of having to deal with the storage, she's just gonna move back here.
Yeah.
She didn't even buy a ticket back. This is what I mean by floaty. You're literally just like,
but see, it's meant to be.
And now like,
I had a feeling that I shouldn't book a return ticket and I was right.
and then whenever you're gonna float on back in December for Christmas.
Are you close?
No shit. Alright, next.
One thing you can do that your sister cannot do.
A cartwheel.
I can read a novel in Chinese.
You can't do a cartwheel, right?
No.
Okay. What's a weird habit of your sister?
Oh no, don't embarrass me.
Well, this is not weird. It's just kind of like, what? You know, for a while, I kept wondering, why the hell do I always hear this wind chime alarm clock at 7:40 every morning, and you always snooze it and you don't use it? So why wake yourself up just to go back to sleep? And it turns out that she's been harvesting points on a certain iPhone game.
Diamonds.
And it's very time sensitive, and it needs to be at 7:40 a.m. every day, in which that's probably like the most committed you've been to anything.
I play that game every day.
So you can say that it was a habit that you would get up and harvest your diamonds.
And then go back to bed.
But if I had to think like weird, or okay, like quirky or abnormal, you pick certain things. Like one time, do you remember when we went to Berkeley one time and we were in the parking lot, and I think this was right before we went to see Hans Zimmer, and then we were just like quiet, kind of just like in a comfortable silence, and you're like do you know what I'm about to say?
No.
You're on the left side because you were driving, and then you're just like, I have mushrooms in here. and you like open the middle little box.
I remember.
And you just have mushrooms that you pick off of the side of the road somewhere on a little napkin. In a very different family, that would mean different things. But of course, in our family, it just means you have some wild mushrooms.
Yeah. I was trying to dry them so I can hang them.
And you like to pick little acorns, little twigs.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're practically like a little...
Oh yeah, like the little thing from that movie. Isn't it a mole?
Oh, could be.
Is it?
I have a lot of weird things.
But it's like you're like it's so like that there's so much weird things about you that it's like normal.
She's still here.
When she eats noodles, she can't bite the noodle halfway. She needs to eat the whole noodle. Otherwise,
So
there'll be spare pieces of like pho.
Yeah.
Like she'll be really upset if they're like little bits of
scraps.
noodle. Yeah, because you know like normal people, I feel like would just like bite down and take a bite-sized amount of noodle into their mouths and then not consider how it's breaking apart the noodles. Oh, another thing is like, let's say we're traveling or we're just like running errands and she eats something like a cone or like a
bagel. Or...
Yeah, she will like not eat. She will not eat the last bit that she was holding onto with her toothpick. And it's just like the perfect size. She'll eat like completely until it's like right before it touches her hand, and then she won't eat that part.
Because there's germs.
What was your biggest fight or argument?
Back then we had really big fights about petty things or like jealousy things, like why do you get that? Like I want it, it's mine. I think recently we had a giant argument because that was when like Kira's moving in, so there's not stuff. And then you just like exploded because I didn't see her for a whole week. So I wasn't even aware that she was upset. So then when I came home, I didn't address it. I was like, hey, and I just went to bed. I asked you something and then your response was short, so then I gave you attitude and then you got really mad. And then when I confronted you and you were really mad, you got super mad. And then we started yelling like crazy stuff, which is
and Eugen was over too.
The first time we yelled in years. It was so weird. I knew, I was like, there's no reason to be this upset about like our conversation.
Yeah.
We talked for a long time and it was like resolved, but it's because I'm like really stubborn, ass that won't quit, force you to talk to me until everything's better.
Yeah.
And that kind of happened. It's exactly what you needed. Exactly what we both needed.
When I am really angry, I am very stubborn about not wanting to talk to that person if I am upset, like if I am pissed off at them. And then she's very much about resolving and then talking out like what the problem is and like addressing things. So when we like butt head to head, I feel like it happened like the whole thing was like what, 2 hours?
I think the angry part was only
20 minutes of like really intense like screaming at each other, and then she thought that I was gonna hit her. And then she thought that was gonna be like
I was gonna
like
hella whack you
like
back.
Actually,
yeah, I always think I don't have a good temper.
No, it's like once I am upset, I like can't control it. Whereas, you know, like I'm okay until I'm
The beast has awakened.
Shut up.
That's not grammatically correct. The beast has awakened.
Isn't it has woken? The beast has woken. I don't know.
You would know.
No, I don't know. Describe the last thing you did with your sister. Well, we had dinner, and now we're filming. Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Complete the statement. My sister is an extension of myself.
Oh. Didn't you say one time to me that you felt like I was like like your arm or your leg or something like that? I would say my sister is my twin flame, which is something I've said a couple of times.
So
before.
poetic. You're my leg.
Well, because you know like how twin flames are different from soulmates? You can't have many different soulmates, like you have one twin flame.
Now that was the last question, I hope that you enjoyed this. But however, like I just feel like that there's gonna be a lot of comments. Like even though you're learning more about us, it's not about like comparing each other. It's just more about,
there's never been competition.
Yeah, it's just not even in our plane of thought. So yeah. I feel like I should have addressed that. And the reason I even brought this up is because if we were talking about spirit animals, or if we were animals in like a forest or something, we would be different animals but very close. Do you know what I mean? Like friends but not the same animal. Like we wouldn't be like two chipmunks. You would be a bird and I would be like a deer. You know, like we'll be two different species that coexist. I want to be the deer. Oh, you're dressed like a deer.
Yeah. You're dressed like a bird.
I'll be a bear and you'll be...
No, I should be the fox and you be the bear.
Yeah,
because I'm
a fox
more,
and
like,
a bear,
all over the place.
But friends.
Thank you so much for watching the sister tag. I'm so grateful for our YouTube community. I hope you have a wonderful day or night.
Yeah, I'm the kind of person where when I place high expectations on videos like these that might have a lot of curiosity or just like answer burning questions, I just don't want to film them because I'm scared that it would not...
You can't answer exactly.
Yeah, it wouldn't be exactly
That's why the boyfriend tag is also not here.
I know.
If you want her to do the boyfriend tag, you should like the video.
Oh, like this video for more tags in the future.
Yeah.
For the rest of the night, I'm gonna get on editing because I'm still juggling my other channel.
A lot more to come. So much is happening. 2019 is definitely the most amazing year so far.
Certainly a year of change. So I hope that you enjoyed this little snippet into our lives.
Yes.
Of course, this is not all encapsulating to our true relationship because there's like a lot of things.
Small snippet. Yeah, that's it.
We'll see you soon. Take care until then. Bye.
Bye.
What is this? Thanks for watching.
Is it serious?
Maybe it could be like an arc. I feel like this is a good arc, you know? Sister tag.
Don't put your hand out like this.